Provo Beast here doing another install today. Today we're working on this 91 Mercedes Benz 300 class. What we're going to be doing is replacing this factory tape deck, the original tape deck within this Mercedes here, to a Pioneer aftermarket radio. The customer wants something that actually works. This one finally gave out, and it's just costs a lot more to repair it versus replace it. So we're going to be replacing it with a nice Bluetooth, USB, aux, CD type of radio itself. So we're going to show you how to replace this radio, wire up the new radio, and reinstallation. Provo Beats Audio Installation Channel is sponsored by NVX and Sonic Electronics. Get 10% off all speakers, amplifiers, wiring kits, and more with coupon code PBAI at NVX. Also get 5% off all car audio components at Sonic Electronics with coupon code ProvoBeast. Now, first thing first, as we go ahead and remove this radio, you're going to notice this one has little slots actually below each part of the radio, and what we're going to do is we have keys that we're going to slide in there to release the clips on each side of the radio, releasing those clips and allowing the radio to slip on out. Now the clips we have are these European clips. I can post in the description if you want to know where to pick these up, but essentially, as you can see here, it says top left, meaning this side up, and on the left hand side top right. And then what we're going to do is grab both sides. Alright, so after some jiggling here, the way that these little stereo keys release the radio as we pull this on out, and I didn't film it because it does take some time. I mean, sometimes they're really stuck in there. But essentially, when you get the radio out here, when these keys go in, just so you have it a chance to see from the other side, as these keys come in, there's a little tab that it grabs, as you can see here. See that? That's it. So once you get that radio, it'll slide on out because you'll pull kind of slightly to the side, pulling that clip inward. Once that's in, you're going to have a couple harnesses here on the back of the radio. Go ahead and disconnect those, and we'll go from that point. Okay, so some wiring here. Now you can pick up the harness, the aftermarket harness, to make this fit and plug and play. They're a little bit more harder to come by, but Metro does have one. I'll post that part number in the description if you want to make this a little easier on you, or if you want to wire it manually. Looking here at this wiring harness, starting from the right, your brown is a ground. Your black and yellow here is your ignition wire, or typically the red wire on your aftermarket harness. This blue guy, say blue and gray, that wire is your illumination wire, so when you turn on the lights, it'll dim everything for you. And then this guy here on the very right hand side, the red white wire, is your constant power, or typically your yellow wire. So you can hardwire those in. Alright, so at this point we went ahead and began wiring up our radio. Now we did a hard wire. Like I said, you can get a harness adapter to plug in there, but they'll never have the factory radio back in here again. So we went ahead and cut that, just like what we talked about. That's how we matched up all our wires here. Used butt connectors, stripped them. This is our new harness for our new radio. Now, since this model here, this Mercedes 300, actually has two factory amplifiers in the trunk, we're going to go ahead and bypass those amplifiers. Now, you can try connecting into these harnesses here, but the issue with that is now there's a fader control here, and it's really hard to retain that. And really, these are pre-out signal, a low level for the amplifiers in the trunk, so it's easiest just to bypass them. So we got this hooked up. Now for our speaker wire here, we're going to run 4 new sets of speaker wire down through the dash, up underneath, working our way on the passenger side to right behind the rear seats. Behind the panel there's 2 factory amplifiers, which we're going to tap into. That's going to be for our speaker wire, and it'll power all the interior speakers as well. Now here's our speaker wire that we put together. We have 4 strands. I marked them all with tape so I know which one's which. And I taped them all the way down here. Plenty of length. We have about 18 feet or so for each strand. And what we're going to do, like I said, is run it from that radio cavity along the side of the car to the rear of the trunk. Alright, what I've done here is, using a hanger, I have fished the wire down through, and right here it comes out. So it allows me to run that wire through the center console. Now running that wire, we'll go up underneath the carpet, work our way back. All right. So we went ahead and pulled the wire through. As you can see here, here's our speaker wire. And we ran it through. Now fortunately, this just pulls back and we ran that wire down, tucked it up underneath. As you can see here, right there. Now these panels just pop off. They're pressure clips that hold on to the little lip here. Now we use the panel tool to help pop those off just so we don't break the panel. And you can pull the carpet back just a hair. Now we're going to go ahead and tuck that wire down there. And to get it past the B-pillar, just go ahead and tuck it. Pull the panel up. Just tuck it up underneath. You can pull this out of the way a little bit if you need it. And on this back end side, same thing, I just tucked it. As you can see there, it comes on through. Again, same as the front. This panel just pops off with clips. Pop the back seat out. There's actually that red clip, and you press that clip in and allow you to unlock the seat. There's one on each side, and then the seat just slides on forward. This will allow you access to go ahead and run wire up underneath the back seat here. Working our way to the amplifiers now. Here in the trunk, there are 2 amplifiers. You pull these harnesses out. You just push this button in, and it unlocks it from the actual plug itself. But we're going to be tapping into these harnesses because these harnesses head to our speakers, and we want to wire them directly so the aftermarket radios are powering the speakers and not these amplifiers that are extremely old. Alright, so let's go ahead and run it through the back now. Here's the gas tank. So it kind of poses an issue to run wire through behind the back seat. Fortunately, there's an axis, and what I did is ran a hanger down through there. And on the other end, came out right there. So what I'm going to do, because I got the speaker wire this far, is I'm going to hook the end to that guy there and fish that on up through that hole to the amplifier area. Just like so. So I ran the wire there, up through, pulled it through. As you can see, kind of hooked that hanger to it, pulled it on through that hole. Alright, so on here we have gray and gray black and black yellow. Black yellow is our positive, that's our rear speaker positive, and black is our rear speaker negative. Gray with a stripe is our front speaker positive, and gray with nothing is our front speaker negative. Now they're identical on both harnesses, and we're going to show you which side is right and which side is left. Now the longer wire here, we're not quite done wiring things up here, but the longer wire here is our left-hand side set of speakers. Solid black is your negative, black yellow is your positive, and that is your rear left speaker. Gray and gray black, and then just the solid gray and gray black is your front left positive and front left negative here. So you want to go hook those up on the other wiring harness. I went to their other amplifier. Same thing, where it's just on the right hand side. The black set is your rear, the gray set is your front. So go ahead and get those all hooked up. Wire all hooked up. I got the wire all cleaned up, and our other connections also made. I'm going to go ahead now, before we put the radio in, we need to put this middle sleeve here, slide it in that pocket to bend the tabs out so it locks it into place. And then from there we'll need to insert the radio. Now as you notice, there's not a Motorola antenna cable for your radio AM FM, because this model at least uses 8-pin harness, which we're not actually using in this install. Now if you want, and you're worried about retaining the radio, here's your radio module, or the tuner module, and you can actually plug out the Motorola cable, and you can get an extension for this on Amazon. Now for this install, we picked up this long extension cord for our antenna connection. It's our Motorola extension. In this car, the actual plug for the antenna that's acceptable by our radio is actually in the trunk, so we're going to have to run this from the trunk area all the way up to plug into the behind the radio. So at this point, let's go ahead and slide in our can and go from there. Alright, so I went ahead and put the metal can in and then slid the radio in. I didn't want to click it all the way in yet, just because we want to test things first. We also ran the Bluetooth mic, and I just pulled this back and ran that wire all the way down here, up underneath the carpet, and then just kind of like how I fish speaker wire, fish it up and plugged it in the back of the radio through the center console. Alright, we went ahead and got everything all taken care of here. Everything's hooked up in the back. Let's do a final boot up here. Oh, there we are. We've got our aux playing. A little bit of Sugar Ray playing, if anybody knows what that is. At this point, we are all good to go. If you have any questions about this install, just go ahead and post a comment below. Thanks guys for watching the channel. We appreciate your support, and we'll certainly see you in the next video.